Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 4. In Module 4, you are completing the first major writing assignment for the class. This is your illustration paragraph, which you started in Module 3. So in Module 3, you did the planning and brainstorming assignment, where you brainstormed some ideas and you came up with a plan for your paragraph. Now you're going to actually write that paragraph and submit it. We are only doing this one assignment in Module 4, so all you're doing is submitting a final draft of your paragraph. A couple of things to remember: we are not doing a peer edit with this, and there is not a required use of the Writing Center either, although that is an option for you. So you want to make sure that even though we're just doing this one assignment, you leave yourself plenty of time to draft your paragraph, revise your paragraph, and turn in the best possible version of this paragraph, because it is a major writing assignment for the class. It will be graded using a rubric, which means that everything will be counted as criteria points, which I'll show you in a minute. So let me show you what this module looks like. It's fairly simple because, like I said, we only have the one assignment in it. So we're down here in Module 4. Your Module 4 resources are all, there's no new reading, but I do have some links back to Module 2 and Module 3 readings, which were about the process of writing a paragraph, achieving coherence. You guys did some exercises out of those two chapters, and then the illustration paragraph, chapter 5, which just talks about how to write illustration writing, and there was also a video linked in there as well to help you out. So those are good resources for you if you get stuck with, how do I even start this? I've also linked in here for you the illustration paragraph assignment again. This is the exact same assignment that you got in the previous module before you completed the brainstorming and writing plan. So now what you're going to do is look back at instructor feedback for your brainstorm and writing plan, and then start writing the paragraph itself. As you write the paragraph, keep in mind that this is the minimum criteria. So this is what you need to have in order to get a passing grade on the assignment. So you want to make sure that as you're writing, you hit each one of these bullet points here. Minimum sentence length, make sure that you're just writing one paragraph. You're not writing an essay. You're not writing multiple paragraphs. It's one single paragraph. And the topic sentence, if you remember, is one out of the textbook. And so you're going to go to that textbook page, and you're going to look at that sentence, and you're going to type that into your document as your very first sentence of your paragraph. You'll have transitions between words and phrases in between your ideas that you provide, and you're providing at least 2 examples. Most of the time students are just fine with 2 or 3 examples. Once you get more than that, it can be a little bit difficult to work with in such a short assignment. So we're just writing one paragraph. Make sure that you spend plenty of time proofreading and editing. At this point, we've just gone over kind of basic sentence stuff, and so I expect you to start seeing you edit your papers for issues that we have had grammar and instruction on already. But just in general, things like spelling, most grammar check programs will, you can use the function to go through and just kind of see if there's anything issue that might be something you want to change. Reading things out loud is a really good way to catch yourself if you've written the wrong word entirely, or if you've skipped over a word, which happens a lot when we're typing what we think. That would be a good way to catch those types of things, is just to read it out loud. Print it out, read it out loud if you can. That's a good way to just self-edit your own writing. And then make sure that you have your whole thing is typed up in MLA style, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute if you've never had to use that before. So MLA guidelines are required to use MLA format for all of our major writing assignments in this class. You'll do paragraphs, you'll do essays, and all of them need to follow the MLA guidelines. And these are just written out, bulleted lists of what you need to do. But then you can also look at this attachment, which just shows you what it's supposed to look like, which is a very standard. There's a lot there. I'll fix that link there so it's not the whole thing. All I want you to look at is the sample essay, which looks like, get back to the beginning of it, which looks like this. So it'll look like this when you type it. It'll be your name and the class and the professor's name and the date, and then your essay, your paragraph, because that's all you're writing, will look like this. So title in the middle, everything's double spaced. There's no special spacing in between things. Everything's just double spaced, 1-inch margins, Times New Roman size 12 font, that kind of thing. So that is the MLA, just in general, that's how we use MLA. The other thing that's in here is how to use the online writing lab for Allen. And this is a brand new service that we are using this semester, and it's called BrainFuse. And our online writing lab is now housed in BrainFuse. So if you have taken other classes with Allen and you have used other methods of finding the online writing lab, it's a little bit different now. The academic support page on the Allen website also contains information about the tutoring services, which might be helpful if any of you are actually on Iola campus or near the Iola campus, and more information about BrainFuse. And then our writing lab coordinator's emails right here as well, if you would rather just email him directly. However, the preferred method for using the online writing lab is through this BrainFuse online tutoring. And so I can't access it as a student, but I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to show you the BrainFuse online tutoring through the faculty view because I don't have a student view on this, but basically it'll launch the BrainFuse tutoring website, and then from this should be the page that you land on. So we've got live help, which is different topics that you can select. If you have trouble in English, you can find an English tutor, but that's not for like essay help. That's more of specific English questions and literature questions, that kind of thing. The submission, paper submission is right here. And so through the writing lab, you submit your paper, you click and tell them what I would just do, maybe a paragraph right here, and then talk about the course and the instructor and then the assignment and that kind of thing, and then any issues that you're having, and then upload your document right here and then hit submit. When you get it back, you'll get it back in your message center, which will be under your specific account, which everything is linked together, and you'll have a message back from them with specific things that you can use to help you. So that is a really good idea to use before you actually turn the essay in. Now they need 48 business hours before you turn your paragraph in. They need 48 business hours to respond. So it's really important to just leave yourself enough time, get it done midweek so that you have plenty of time to get some response back from the online writing lab. And then when you're done, you'll want to make sure that you make changes to your paragraph, and then you'll submit it here to the assignment submission. So the assignment submission spot just has a link back to the illustration paragraph so that you can make sure you met the criteria. It has a link to the MLA style. Make sure that you put it in MLA style. And then it also has the rubric. And the rubric is how I will be grading this, which means it will be graded not based on whether or not you did it. It's going to be graded based on whether or not you met the criteria. So it does take me longer to grade, but it also means that I will be grading it more stringently. And so you want to be thinking about, if you want like an A on the paper or on the paragraph, then you want to make sure that you are scoring within this excellent to proficient category for each of the criteria. So these are just little things sometimes can mean the difference between an A and a B. If you don't bother to put it in MLA format, you're going to get a low score in format. That's 15 points of your grade. So just kind of keep that in mind, that there is a really easy way often to earn more points on your work as long as you are just paying attention and meeting all of the criteria. So that is Module 4. If you have any questions at all, make sure that you send me an email. It's not cheating to send me work ahead of time to make sure that you're doing it correctly before you submit. So I encourage you to do that as well. The thing is, you just have to have your paragraph written earlier in the week for me to be able to do that. So hopefully you're doing well. If not, send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.